Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Uber Eats got caught in Seattle. So recently I got an email from one of my subscribers. BC, thank you so much for emailing me about this and making this video possible. And they sent me an email going over a $15 million settlement that Uber Eats just came to in Seattle for gig workers out there. And honestly, I thought that this is definitely something worth discussing. So with that said, we are going over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub drivers in the Seattle area, especially with the laws out there and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Seattle reaches $15 million settlement with Uber Eats over workers' rights violations. The Seattle Office of Labor Standards has reached a historic $15 million settlement with Portier LLC doing business as Uber Eats over alleged violations in the independent contractor protections and app-based workers minimum payment ordinances. This settlement will impact more than 16,000 workers. So first off, before I even go into this, Seattle overall is under different rules and guidelines over everybody else. So as a reminder, everything in the gig economy is market dependent and case by case. And what applies to me and my market may not apply to you, especially since they have their own minimums rules similar to that of New York City, except theirs is under different city rules in general. Under the agreement, Uber Eats will pay $15,225,521.75, which includes back pay, interest, liquidated damages, and civil penalties to 16,120 affected workers. Additionally, the company will pay $33,680.26 in fines to the city of Seattle. The payments are scheduled to reach workers by Labor Day, September 1st, 2025. So Seattle, you're looking like you're getting a little extra payday on the first of the month. I bet that'll help you with your rent payments. This historic $50 million settlement is a major win for workers and a strong reminder that in Seattle, we hold large companies accountable when they sidestep their responsibilities and shortchange workers, said Mayor Bruce Harrell in a press release. We are proud of our nation-leading policies that protect and uplift app-based workers, recognize that they are a critical part of our local economy and deserve to be treated with fairness, dignity, and respect. Okay, I'm gonna say this because I feel like this is going to lead down a different rabbit hole. This is not a political channel. This has never been a political channel. It'll never be a political channel. This isn't left, right, A, B, up, down, whatever. This is simply me interpreting the information that is presented to me as a gig worker in the gig economy. That said, I don't know about nation-leading policies for app-based workers. I feel like the Colorado laws are actually getting a little bit more effective for gig workers. I know that there's a lot of debate on how things should actually be structured in the gig economy, and there's a lot of people that feel like there shouldn't be these minimums, and I agree, there shouldn't be these minimums because the higher you raise the floor, the more you lower the ceiling. I mean, just look at New York City being the worst place for gig work in general. I wouldn't say that nation-leading policies is how I would describe Seattle, especially with how they tend to run things. OLS Director Stephen Marchese emphasized the significance of the settlement, stating, as the largest settlement in OLS history, this sets a new benchmark and represents a significant milestone for the protection of workers' rights in Seattle and the rapid growing industry of app-based work. Okay, but that's not even the largest settlement, though. Like, New York City had this better. Like, New York did this better. Washington, D.C. did this as well. Like, all of these other companies did that. This isn't new. I mean, good for the people that are getting this settlement, but still. The settlement follows two investigations by OLS into Uber Eats. The first investigation, which began on November 6, 2023, focused on alleged violations under the ICP ordinance, which mandates pay, transparency, and enforcement of pay promises. The second investigation, launched on November 15, 2024, addressed the alleged violations of the ABWMP ordinance, which ensures app-based workers receive a minimum payment based on time worked and miles traveled. Yeah, you see that last part? Getting paid for your time is not how the gig economy is really supposed to work. And miles traveled, yes, that matters, but that should be included in the base rate, not into some sort of time minimum. Regardless, I am glad that there has been a settlement that took place here. I feel like they're patting themselves a little too hard on the back here, but that is a different conversation. UberEats denied the allegations, but agreed to resolve all ICP claims for a total of $13,559,434.41, with more than $13 million related to the company's boost promotion. Oh yeah, the boost promotions are bullshit. The way the boost promotions work is so funny to me because they'll promote the boost, but they won't actually apply it to the order, or they'll lower the base rate so that way it looks like it was applied, but in reality, the funds were just redistributed. The company also agreed to resolve all ABWMP claims for $1,466,087.34 and to implement a written cancellation with cause policy. I feel like I need so much more information on the cancellation with cause policy. Like, I feel like there needs to be so much more than that. Lucas Kuczynski, a worker who filed a complaint with OLS, said, "I hope the outcome of the settlement can serve as a reminder that there are institutions whose reason for being is to protect the public and that individuals should always feel empowered to take action when they feel taken advantage of." And yes, that has to do with the gig economy as well. I know that I'm dealing with my own stuff right now that is outside of the gig economy. And yes, I do think that you do need to fight for what you think makes sense, but also make sure the fight is actually worth fighting, because that could go both ways too. David Lilly, another worker who filed a complaint, expressed gratitude for OLS's efforts, saying, "I was glad to have played my part in documenting and reporting the canceled order and complaint, and am grateful to OLS for seeing it through on behalf of the affected workers." Yeah, I feel like there is so many people just looking for their accolades at this point. Like, this feels less like, hey, we actually helped a lot of gig workers get the settlement they deserved, and more like, man, we did a good job taking down those big ass companies. We did a good job. We did a great job, man. That said, I am glad that Uber Eats drivers are actually going to get some sort of settlement. I know that when I got my DoorDash settlement in New York that just passed by, that was actually a strong financial relief for me, but still. District 8 King County Council member Teresa Mosqueda applauded a sentiment saying, "When workers don't get paid what they were promised for delivering food by Uber Eats, it means they can't put food on their own tables. I applaud OLS for helping make sure working people get paid what they're owed." The settlement underscores the importance of Seattle's labor standards and the city's commitment to protecting the rights of app-based workers. I feel like the next fight that they're gonna have to have is the cancellation of tip baiting in general. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. Look, I am glad that there are certain governments that are actively taking on combating these gig companies, because there does need to be some kind of changes. I know that a lot of people don't agree with how these changes are being implemented. Like, I don't agree with what New York City is doing at all and just having a standard rate and that's it for gig workers. And because of that, forced the company to retaliate about the tips that are happening on the platform. Same with Seattle, same difference. The apps didn't have to respond that way, but they also didn't have to treat gig workers that way either. Like, we got caught in the collateral damage of the government imposing their authority upon the gig platforms in such a way to where the gig workers end up caught in the crossfire. That goes for Seattle, that goes for New York City. I think that goes for California too, kind of, not really. Because Prop 22 doesn't act the same way, at least from what I understand. And I know that Colorado has their own system, and there seems to be a lot more approval on that. I haven't really done too much of a deep dive on that personally, but I know that there are a lot of people that are all for it. Nevertheless, for those of you who are in Seattle, this is great news for you. I really hope that it works out for all people. And I look forward to seeing what other changes in the gig economy are happening on on a countrywide policy level, because I know that there are a lot of people that are wishing for that. If you guys would like to email me something as well, my email is drivenwyld@gmail.com. Feel free to email me there. And who knows, maybe you get shout out in a video as well. Also, if you're looking to learn more about how the gig economy works on a fundamental level, make sure to check out drivenwyld.com. That's my website, and you can learn about all of the services we currently offer gig workers, some information that is valuable for gig workers, and learn about some of the platforms that we've already discussed on this channel and everywhere else. Also, if you would like to stay in the know of what people are currently talking about in the gig economy, make sure to check out our new channel, Gone Wild Clips and Podcasts, where we take the clips from our live stream, cut them into more digestible clips, and post them onto that page. And finally, if you're looking for more exclusive clips and what's actually taking place in the gig economy, as well as the full uncut live stream replays, make sure to check out my Patreon, to where we have all of that and more posted there for self-employed individuals as well as gig workers in the gig economy. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like,